quiet line, and you cheat, and you try to make a fool out of shit.
What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages? Joker back again, once again, and as we get more and more back into lore on this channel, I wanted to go ahead and set the expectation for what you can kind of, well, expect. I'll of course have stuff that I want to cover from a technical standpoint, like my one of the best retcons in Destiny lore video, where we not only had a discussion about lore, but we talked about a technical aspect of the writing craft. Other times, I'll just talk about lore that I like. And then you'll have times like this video, where we use the lore to piece together fun theories. Now, the theories part is important, because I'm not saying X, Y, and Z will happen. Destiny is a living game being written by dozens of people who come and go or who are commissioned to create content. Simply put, no theory is 100% bulletproof, more so when the writing team of that thing that you're theorizing about is consistently rotating. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't explore theories. What it does mean is that, sure, there might be an interesting thread that we can extrapolate. But what I'm saying is not gospel. What I say, even if there's proof in the lore, doesn't mean it's going to happen, even if it makes the most sense or is just really cool. Like today's video, could Savathûn be an ally? Contrary to popular belief, the chances aren't zero. But before we get into the wonderful world of theory crafting, a portal will open to a word from our sponsor.
I broke the code and reprogrammed them.
You're bluffing.
Omega Lambda 7 XL9. That sounds like a bluff to you?
How did this happen to me? I made my mistakes.
Which is something you wonderful ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, don't have to worry about thanks to today's sponsor, NordPass. What is NordPass, you ask? NordPass is a new generation of password management where security meets simplicity. Brought to you by the award-winning experts who built NordVPN, the advanced online security and privacy app trusted by more than 14 million users worldwide. Break away from the endless cycle of password and reset with NordPass. Look, we've all been there, had our passwords cracked, our accounts stolen, or, you know what, something as simple and trivial, but still just as annoying as logging into a website you haven't been on for ages and then typing in the wrong password 50 times and getting locked out, and it's just an ordeal. Or trying to create a new password on a new website with ever-increasing qualifications like, I don't know, it must be 10 digits, contain 2 capital letters, 2 symbols, and must be entered while standing upside down and juggling plates with your toes. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. For a limited time, grab a 1-year NordPass premium plan for 50% off at nordpass.com/darksideroyalty or use the code darksideroyalty at checkout. Fact-checking Joker, you know the drill, take it away. Enjoy features like storing your passwords all in one place, organize your logins and private notes in a secure password vault, accessing it all with one master password, or generate secure passwords. The more complex the password, the safer your account. Or new features like password health. Use password health to check if your password is weak, or older than 90 days, or used on several accounts. They also have a data breach scanner to find out if your online accounts or credit card information has been leaked. And be secure in all your password needs. I'd like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, NordPass, for allowing us to break the endless cycle of password and reset. But the portal closes, and back to our show. So our first hint that Savathûn might be receptive to an alliance comes way of the Book of Sorrow, verse 3-4, the Scream.
No! Savathûn, Ziva Arath, my siblings, we are betrayed. We will never live eternal. Our might shatters entire species. We inhale the smoke of their burning. This is our compact with the worm, our god. The worm makes us mighty. But as we wield this might, our worm's hunger expands. If we fail to feed it, it will devour us from within. We have exterminated 306 worlds, and now I am certain my worm's hunger grows faster than the might I draw from it. We are bound by our covenant to obey our nature, eternal search, eternal cunning, eternal conquest. But as we do this, my siblings, we feed our worms. And the more we feed them, the hungrier they grow, faster and faster. Soon, my siblings, we will be so mighty and our worms so hungry that not with all our might could we possibly feed them. We will be devoured. What can we do?
See, for those of you who do not know, because every video is somebody's first, billions of years ago, the Hive were this short-lived race on a planet called Fundament. Oryx and his sisters, Savathûn and Xivu Arath, were the, at the time, princesses of the Osmium court. TLDR, they were overthrown, barely escaped with their lives, and went into exile. Shenanigans happened, and they found the Worm Gods. My Name is Bife has a very excellent series about the Books of Sorrow. If you want to go over to his channel and take a look at that, the link will be in the description below. Now, of course, there's more to it than that, but for the sake of discussion, that's all you really need to know. Upon finding the Worm Gods promised the sisters 3 immortality. However, it turns out the Hive Gods should have read the fine print. As we saw in Book of Sorrows verse 3-4, it's immortality, but with a catch. Since coming to the realization of the limits of their immortality, the Hive Gods have tried to come up with different ways by which they can stave off their inevitable death. The Dreaming City and its 3-week cycle, for example, is just one in a long line of different attempts made by Savathûn to try to figure out a way to cheat the deal. And verse 154I-E, her new compact, from the lore book Truth to Power, sheds some light on some of these other methods. Now in ancient days, her brother Oryx spoke according to the plan Savathûn had devised for him. Saith Oryx,
The worm within you demands tribute. Now, you shall kill what you can, and take what killing you need to grow, or for your own purposes, if you dare, and tithe the rest to that which rules you, and thus tribute shall ascend the chain, and the excess shall pool at the height, as unlike a river to an ocean.
But Savathûn, desiring neither chain nor pool, set about devising a secret way to feed the worms of her brood. Thus, she would escape the trap. In her modest cunning, which she prefers not to overstate, so as to preserve her from the scorn of gossip, she gathered several of her ascendants who were in danger of being consumed by their worms. Then she pushed them through a rupture, into close orbit of a black hole. Deep in gravity's embrace, time passed slowly for them.
See, their worms are satisfied,
Savathûn said,
for their hunger grows sluggishly, but their servants continue to dispatch tribute at the ordinary rate.
But the worms sensed the deception and increased their demand. Thus, the orbiting surfaces were consumed, and their remains fell into the event horizon from which not even a hive might return. Now, Savathûn came into the possession of the Vex Quora, whose creation she had secretly engineered, but she feared that Quora would still spy on her for inquisitive Oryx. So, she led her portion of the hive into a black hole, saying,
Siblings, listen. We must part ways a while, so that we may grow different. Now we stake everything upon cunning.
She said, whose lies may alter truth.
Slaughter each other so I may reap the tribute, and devise for you a new compact, which shall bejudge thy claim to existence.
This pleased the Everhunger, whose epithet betrayed an interest in time and appetite. Admired her cunning, as she used tribute to teach Quora to use hive magic as a computational oracle to solve unsolvable problems. One of these problems was the navigation and engineering of the Singularity. Then Savathûn went from her throne world into the Singularity, which she looked upon and understood.
Upon this place, I shall assemble my design. Utter.
Now, armed with these two pieces of lore, which admittedly come from unreliable narrators, it doesn't seem unreasonable to assume that Savathûn could, or has already, allied with us in order to escape the trap of the chain and the pool and the worm's hunger. After all, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and ultimately, the darkness is Savathûn's enemy, at least in this scenario. But lore's not quite all we have. In February of 2022, Bungie will release the Witch Queen expansion, meaning 1, we don't have that long to wait until we find out the truth, but 2, from the title, obviously, clearly, we'll be dealing with Savathûn. However, that's really all we know, except we do have a preview of the main world armor for Witch Queen. Now, people have done a breakdown of the symbols on the armor, and there'll be something on the screen if you care about that, but the long and short of it is these symbols are alchemic symbols that represent corrosive elements, leading people to further speculate that the next set of subclasses could in fact be thorn-like corrosive subclasses. And it is noted in the lore that Savathûn's power is poisonous, or that she uses it in a way to poison worlds. And while we certainly could see a retreading of Beyond Light's plot where we go into a fight with the big bad evil of the week and take their power for ourselves, that would be trite and boring. Plus, like I said, we've already done that. Actually, we've kind of done that a couple of times, but details. What would be more interesting, in my opinion, is an alliance with Savathûn against the Black Fleet. But this inevitably comes into the question of, if Savathûn is our ally, then who's the raid boss? Well, if Beyond Light taught us anything, it's that you don't have to be the poster child to be the raid boss. I think the answer sort of becomes obvious the more you look at the original planned content for the future of Destiny: Beyond Light, Witch Queen, and Lightfall. Now, this is all purely conjecture, but where's Xiva Arath in all of that? You don't expect me to believe that we're going to take out a Hive God in a Season Pass DLC, do you? More so when that Hive God had a hand in destroying the Cabal home world, which has led us to making an alliance with the Cabal. Bungie has to figure out a way to square that circle somehow, and I think Savathûn allying with us and Xiva Arath being the villain subverts enough expectations to be interesting in my opinion. This alliance could also be nothing more than a plot by Savathûn to kill her sister Xiva Arath and take her power, and she's offering us Hive magic to do so. Either that or Savathûn's Eva Levante.
Yes, yes, yes.
But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Remember to like, but only if you did, subscribe for more. Feel free to donate to my Patreon if you're feeling particularly generous, but above all else, stay frosty.